Hey Browns fans! Let's dive deep into the latest Cleveland Browns news and updates. Before we get into today's fascinating story, hit the like button so you don't miss any updates. This is your home for all things Browns, all the time. Let's go! Okay, let's talk about the latest buzz that has Browns fans scratching their heads. With the second overall pick in the NFL draft, Cleveland has a chance to redefine its future, especially at quarterback. Logically, that pick should go to a top-tier quarterback, right? But Pro Football Network has thrown a curveball, predicting that the Browns could go in a completely different direction. Here's the scenario. The Tennessee Titans are expected to take Shedeur Sanders first overall. That would leave Cam Ward, another elite quarterback, available for Cleveland. Sounds like an easy decision, right? Just take Ward and solidify the most important position in football. Well, Pro Football Network doesn't see it that way. Instead, they're predicting the Browns will select Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter. Yes, Abdul Carter, a defensive player, second overall. The logic? Pair Carter with Cleveland's already talented secondary and defensive line, creating nearly unstoppable passing pressure. According to the report, Carter is being compared to Micah Parsons, but with longer arms and an even more complete skill set coming out of college. Carter's rapid improvement over the course of the 2024 season has made him a standout, and it's easy to see why he's so respected. But here's the big question. How can the Browns pass up a quarterback like Cam Ward if he's sitting there at number 2? It's not every year you get the chance to draft a potential franchise quarterback. Sure, Carter may be a generational defensive talent, but without a quarterback, the offense is stuck in neutral. Perhaps this signals the Browns are considering other plans. Could Kirk Cousins be in the mix during free agency? Or are the Browns simply overthinking this draft strategy, risking a golden opportunity to secure their quarterback of the future? Let's face it, this is a crucial offseason for Cleveland. The decisions they make in April will define the direction of the team for years to come. If they do pass on a quarterback, the plan for Kirk Cousins, or whoever they bring in, better be bulletproof. Otherwise, fans may be left wondering what could have been. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Is Pro Football Network right, or is this prediction way off the mark? Should the Browns draft Cam Ward if he's there, or is Abdul Carter the right choice? Okay, let's talk about quarterbacks. With Deshaun Watson potentially out until the 2025 season due to his Achilles injury, the Browns are in a tough spot. While holding on to the number 2 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft gives the team a chance to regroup, things are far from simple. Rumors about potential draft picks like Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders continue to swirl, but complications, including Deion Sanders reportedly pulling his son away from Cleveland, could force the Browns to explore other options. One name that's been floating around in recent days? Matthew Stafford. Yes, the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. Stafford, who signed a massive 4-year, $160 million extension following his championship run, still has 2 years remaining on his contract. And while his $49.6 million hit to the 2025 salary cap raises questions about his future in LA, some teams are reportedly eyeing him as a potential target. But is Cleveland a realistic landing spot? According to Browns insider Tony Grossi, probably not. Speaking on ESPN Cleveland, Grossi threw cold water on the idea, citing Stafford's massive contract as a major obstacle. I don't know what his contract situation is, but again, he's not coming here to play for peanuts, Grossi said. And let's not forget the Rams' perspective. Grossi noted that Los Angeles isn't exactly equipped to replace Stafford right now. Jimmy Garoppolo, serving as Stafford's backup, doesn't appear ready to take the reins, and the Rams don't have any viable alternatives. In Grossi's words, the Rams aren't ready to replace him. I don't think it's going to happen, but he would be excellent. So where does that leave the Browns? If Stafford's price tag is too high and the draft doesn't go as planned, Cleveland may need to get creative. Options like Sam Darnold or even Daniel Jones have been rumored, but with the Browns facing tight salary cap constraints, even those names may be a stretch. It all comes back to the pressure of the number 2 pick in the draft. If Cam Ward goes first overall to the Titans and Shedeur Sanders is out of reach, what should the Browns do? Do they take a chance on another rookie QB or use this pick to trade up assets? It's a tough situation, Browns fans and the front office will need to be sharp to avoid squandering this rare opportunity. What do you think? Should the Browns make a push for Matthew Stafford despite his massive contract? Is there another quarterback on their radar, or should the team focus on the draft and take the best available option? Let me know in the comments below. So, let's talk about the 2025 NFL Draft. The Browns have the second overall pick, and while many expect us to draft a quarterback to solve our long-term problems, there's another name that's becoming a fan favorite, Abdul Carter, Penn State's standout pass rusher. According to the latest mock draft from Pro Football Network's Dalton Miller, the Browns should select Carter if they decide to skip a quarterback or can't find a trade partner for the pick. Carter is an absolute beast. His 2024 season was insane: 12 sacks, 24 tackles for loss, and 68 combined tackles. That kind of production is hard to ignore, even if it's not exactly what some fans have in mind. Now picture this: Abdul Carter lining up on the other side of Myles Garrett. Just let that sink in for a second. Opposing quarterbacks would have nightmares knowing those two are coming after them. Pairing Garrett, who continues to prove he's one of the league's best defensive players, with a young, dynamic pass rusher like Carter could give the Browns one of the most daunting defensive fronts in the NFL. But here's the thing: does drafting Carter make sense for a team that just finished 3-14 and has no clear solution at quarterback? Sure, he might be the best player available, but does that align with what the Browns need most right now? It's a tough call. Speaking of Myles Garrett, let's take a moment to appreciate what this guy has done for this team. Despite all the chaos this season, starting with 4 different quarterbacks, dealing with injuries and seeing key players leave, Garrett has still delivered. For the 4th straight year, he's had at least 14 sacks and was named to the Professional Football Writers of America's All-NFL team for the 5th straight season. That's the longest streak in the league right now, and it's just another reason why he's the heart and soul of this team. But here's the harsh reality: Browns fans, Garrett has made it clear that he's not interested in staying for a rebuild. And after this disastrous season, who can blame him? If the Browns don't turn things around quickly, we could be looking at a future without our defensive cornerstone. It's a conversation no one wants to have, but it's one that's looming in the background. So here's the big question: should the Browns take Abdul Carter with the number 2 pick and build an unstoppable defense, or should they focus on solving the quarterback situation, even if it means passing on a talent like Carter? And what about Myles Garrett? Can the Browns turn things around in time to keep him happy, or are we headed for a breakup? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on this draft decision and what you would do if you were in charge. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest Browns updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns!